Good morning, everyone. My name is John Cochran, and this is Gentle Yoga. If you haven't already done so, find a comfortable seated position at your mat, cross-leg position. We're bringing the hands to the knees, and we're going to press back gently on the knees to roll the top of the pelvis. We're rolling the top of the pelvis forward, then we're lifting the chest, so we're sitting up really tall. We're going to close the eyes and concentrate on the breath for the next 30 seconds. Take a deep breath in, lift the chest just a little bit higher, and as you exhale, we'll relax, we'll roll back a bit, round the spine, move around a little bit. And then we're twisting to the right. So we're taking the left hand to the right knee. The right hand, we're going to make a TP. So we're turning the TP down and bringing the fingers down to the mat behind us, taking that right shoulder up, back, and down, pressing down at the top of the TP to lift the breastbone up, pull the belly in with an exhalation, and then turn and look over the right shoulder. Take another deep breath in, lifting. And as you exhale, we'll come back to the front. We'll pause here for a moment, let the hands rest quietly, move around a little bit to relax, and then we'll twist to the left. Right hand goes to the left knee. The left hand now makes the TP. We'll take that TP around back. Left shoulder up, back, and down. Pressing down into the TP, lifting the chest, pulling the belly in with an exhalation. We're twisting, turning and around and looking over the left shoulder. Another breath in, and as you exhale, coming back to the front again, letting the hands rest in the lap there for a moment. And then let's change the cross of the feet. Change which foot is in front. And then we'll take the lower ribs. We're going to take those lower ribs around in circles. So I'm bringing the ribs forward and then off to one side, and then taking them back and then off to the other side. Do this about 5 times. We'll come back to the front here and just, move around a little bit. And then we'll take those ribs around the other direction. So going off to the other side first, then around back, and off to the side and back to the front. It's making circles here. So what we're doing is we're working the lower part of the spine, making sure that all of those joints in the lower part of the spine are getting some movement in them. One more time around, since I haven't been counting, and we'll come back to the front. And again, we'll just move around a little bit to relax. And then we're going to round the spine and let the nose come down toward the belly button. And then we're taking the head and shoulders off to one side. And as we do this, we're arching the spine. So we're not going like this. We're arching like this. And then we're going around back. So the chest lifts. And we're looking up toward the ceiling. Then we go to the second side. And again, we're arching the spine, coming forward again, and continuing to rotate around here. So what we don't want to do is have the spine be nice and straight, and we're kind of like a swizzle stick in a martini, or let's see, in a Manhattan, I guess. So we want to have the spine rounding as we do this. Come around to the front one more time here, and then we'll reverse and go the other direction. And we'll run the last round here. We'll come around to the front, we'll hang down here just for a few moments, bring the hands beside the hips and press down gently to help roll forward a little bit more. And then we'll inhale and round the spine as we come up, rounding, coming up. I'm going to straighten out the legs. And just let those legs move around a little bit, rolling the toes from side to side, lifting and pressing down the knees. We're going to flex the feet and to bring the hands beside the hips again. So the hands are beside the hips. Got the feet, they can be several inches apart or they can be close together. We'll take the shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to press down first into the heels of the hands, but then we're going to press down into the palms and the knuckles and the fingers. So the whole hand is pressing down. And in fact, the knuckles and fingers press down enough so that you can feel the lightening of the weight in the heel of the hand. The heel of the hand becomes lighter. Shoulders up, back, and down. We're lifting the chest. We're sitting up really tall. Knees are straight. They're pressing down. Feet are flexed, and the feet press. The heels press away. So we're in the staff posture. Inhale and lift the chest a little bit higher. As you exhale, we'll relax. Just move everything around a little bit. We'll take the feet wide apart. Feet wide apart. Might get my feet in the picture today. We're going to take the right hand out toward the left toes. Just waving at the toes is okay. Bring the hand down to the knee or to the shin is okay. If you can, you fold forward and reach out and actually touch that toe. So if your hand is on the shin, that's perfectly okay. Try to walk your fingers a little bit further out the shin, a little bit closer to the ankle. And then we'll slowly roll back up. And we'll go to the right side. So we're taking the left fingers out toward the right toes, waving at those toes. Hello out there, toes. And if you can, you reach out and actually touch the toes. But if you can't, then you bring your hand down to the shin and let the hand rest on the shin. Walk those fingers out toward the ankle a little bit. And we'll slowly come back up. We're going to go back to the left side. This time we're going to lift the chest and take taking the chest out toward the toes, and then the fingers reach out toward those toes as well. And again, the hand can come down to the shin if you need to, but we're lifting the chest. Pardon me. Lifting the chest, and we're thinking about taking the belly here and pressing it down into the thigh. And if you want to take the left hand out as to the wherever your right hand is, you can do that down here to the shin or up at the toes. And we're lifting the chest. We're not looking down at the knee. We're looking up here above the toes, across the room. And then we're slowly rolling up. Of course, you know the rules of the class are not to hurt yourself. And if something starts to hurt, you stop doing it immediately. And if we're holding a position longer than you like to hold it, go ahead and come out whenever you're ready. So we're lifting the chest again, turning toward that right foot, bending forward, bring the belly down toward the thigh, reaching out toward those toes, hands to the shin, hands to the toes. And we're looking up again, up here at eye level, looking straight ahead across the room. And then we're releasing, coming back up, sitting up really tall. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and bring those feet in fairly close, not necessarily really close, fairly close to the groins in here. And your knees may be up really high. Wherever they happen to be, just try to relax. If your knees are uncomfortable in this position, you can support your knees with your elbows if you need to. But if you can't, just let those knees come down. We're going to grab hold at the ankles and pull forward. Pull the heels back toward the groins and roll the top of the pelvis forward, and then lift the chest. Wherever you happen to be in this, out here is okay too. And then a breath in, lifting the chest, and as you exhale, we're relaxing. I'm just going to take a little break. I've got to come forward to mute again. Several people have joined us, and I'm hearing a little background noise. Okay. So welcome to everybody who's joined us. Let's come just to let's have the left foot on the mat or on the floor, with the right foot coming underneath the left leg. So that the right foot is over here on the left side. And we're just hugging this knee with the left knee. We'll bring that knee in, hug it in toward the armpit, and we're going to take the right hand, and reach down here between the ribs and the thigh, and we're pulling the ribs and the thigh, the ribs and the flesh out of the way, so there's a little bit more room for that knee, for the thigh to go backward. The knee comes closer to the armpit. We're lifting the chest and looking straight ahead. So inhale and lift the chest a little bit further. As you exhale, we'll relax. We're going to change sides, so we'll do it slowly. Right foot's on the mat, and the left foot comes underneath. We're pulling that foot over here to the right side a little bit. Then we're bringing the right foot in. We're going to hug this right knee in toward the right armpit. We're going to take the left hand between the thigh and the ribs, pull the ribs and the flesh out of the way so that there's a little bit more room for the thigh to go beside the torso. We're just hugging this knee inward. So when we're holding the positions, I like to close my eyes, and I'm definitely concentrating on the position itself, but also on the breath. I'm trying to not allow my mind to drift off to other things that have to be done today. And we're relaxing. Again, we're going to straighten out the legs and just let those legs relax a little bit. And then we're going to lie down and just come into Shavasana. Shavasana is the relaxation position. So we're lying down here and just finding a comfortable position. So we're just going to relax here for several breaths, about 4 breaths. And as you're lying here, pay attention to how the body responds to being given this break, this time for total relaxation. Notice where you're feeling it, which joints are happy with this and which joints might not be so happy yet. And with your next inhalation, we'll bring the feet closer together. We'll bring the hands in beside the torso. And as you exhale, we'll bend the knees and bring the feet in closer to the buttocks. We'll pause here for a couple of breaths. And then we'll press the back down. We're firming the belly muscles. With an inhalation, we lift one knee up, and then we'll lift the other knee up. We're reaching up here and grabbing these knees. We're gently hugging the knees down toward the left and right centers of the chest. And we're pulling gently We're pulling enough so that the tailbone rolls up off the mat just a little tiny bit. And then we're keeping that tension in the arms. We're going to try to relax the hips so that the tailbone comes back down. So that's a very small motion. So breath in now, and as you exhale, we'll release the knees. We'll take the knees wide apart, take the hands and slide down the inside of the shin, down to the ankles, or all the way to the feet if your flexibility allows, but ankles or top of the shin, wherever you can reach, and gently pulling the heels in toward the groins. I need to move over slightly, so just ignore that. I'm a little too close to that sofa. So we'll relax. We'll put the right foot down. We're going to take the left foot up toward the ceiling. We're going to take it down at an angle to begin with. I'm going to straighten out I'm going to change legs so that you can see what we're doing. Got the left leg up here. It's at an angle, and we're getting the knee really straight. So we're going to press this knee downward. You might think of lifting the heel as well to get this knee really straight. And then we're flexing the foot. We're going to press the heel upward, and the knee continues to press downward. And then with an inhalation, we sweep this leg up toward the seat, keeping the knee straight. So if you want, you can reach up here and massage. I sometimes feel this down here in the hip or in the back of the thigh, front of the thigh, around the knee, up into the calf. Wherever you're feeling this, you want to encourage the muscles to relax. And then we'll bend the knee, bring the heel down toward the buttock, and then we're taking the hands down or around to the front of the leg to the shin. We're sliding the hands down as far as you can, all the way to the ankle if possible, and we're pulling the heel in toward the buttock. So you can relax that foot when you do that, and the heel comes right up here and touches the buttock. We'll change sides. So we're releasing, and we're putting the left foot down, taking the right foot up now. Notice I'm doing the opposite side, so if it looks strange to you, that's why. So we're getting this knee really straight, pressing the knee down. We're pressing the heel upward. We're going to flex the foot and press the heel upward as that knee presses downward. And then with an inhalation, we take the leg up higher, high as you can without bending the knee. So the right leg and the left leg may be different in the amount of stretch that you have in them this morning. That's very normal. And a breath in, and as you exhale, we'll bend the knee, bring the heel down toward the buttock, hands go around to the shin, we'll sliding the hands down the shin as far as they'll go, all the way to the ankle if possible, and we're pulling the heel in toward the buttock and relaxing the foot. The foot can relax, or you can keep it flexed. And then we'll go back to the other side. So the left foot comes up now. We're straightening the knee out. We're going to flex the foot, press the heel upward and the knee downward. And then inhaling, we take the leg up. We hold it here. Again, massaging if it feels good to do so. And now we're bending the knee and the heel comes down toward the buttock. Hands go around to the front of the shin, down to the ankle if possible. We're pulling the heel in toward the buttock. And we're releasing, putting that right foot or the left foot down now. And we're going back to the right side, getting this leg really straight. Knee presses downward, flexing the foot, pressing the heel upward, the knee downward, then inhaling, taking the leg up as high as you can, massaging if you'd like to, wherever you need to. And then we're bending the knee. Heel comes down toward the buttock, hands go around front, hands down to the ankle if possible, pulling the heel in toward the buttock, relaxing the foot if you wish. Another breath in, and as you exhale, we're relaxing. We're going to let the knees fall out to the sides, to the left and the right. Soles of the feet are pressing gently together, and the knees are just relaxing. Relaxing these inner thigh and groin muscles. If you wish, you can take your hands up and gently place them on the insides of the thighs. Add a little bit of weight, but don't use muscle power to press down. So these tendons down here are relatively easy to hurt, and they take forever to heal. So we're taking the hands away from the thighs, and we're going to bounce the knees up and down an inch or so of movement here. It's a little bit more stretch for these inner thigh, mainly the tendons, I think. And then with your next inhalation, we're bringing the knees up, we're pressing the knees firmly together, and we're holding that pressure. It's like you have a $1,000 bill stuck between your knees and you don't want the wind to blow it away. Still pressing, paying attention to how this is feeling, paying attention to the breath. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, we'll just relax. We're going to straighten out the left leg and bring the right knee up. And we're going to reach up with the left hand to bring the hand to the knee. We're going to bring the knee in toward the chest, but then we're going to pull it over toward the left side, but we're going to keep this right hip down toward the mat. So the hip will lift, but we're not letting it roll way over. So we're using abdominal muscles to turn the belly to the right as we pull the knee to the left. Massage if you want to. And then we'll change sides. So the right foot comes down. We're straightening the right leg out. Bring the left foot up. Lift that foot up off the mat. We're reaching up with the right hand to grab the knee. We're pulling the knee in toward the chest and then across toward the right side. And again, we're keeping this left hip down, turning the belly to the left and massaging if it feels beneficial to do so. Another breath in, and as you exhale, we'll relax. We're putting that left foot down. We're going to bring the right foot back up. We have the feet touching one another. The heels and the ankles, knees and the ankles now are all both together. So the knees are together, the ankles are together. We're going to keep the shoulders flat on the mat. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're rolling the hips over to the right side. We're going to keep that left shoulder down. We're going to turn the face to the left as well. If you'd like, you can take the left arm out to the side if you don't have a piece of furniture in the way. And we're slowly letting these knees come down closer and closer and closer to the floor. And then with your next inhalation, we'll roll back up. Roll from side to side a little bit, wag the tail, and then we're rolling to the other side. So let's see, do I have enough room? I do have enough room. So keeping the shoulders flat, we're keeping the knees and the ankles together, exhaling, we're rolling over to the left side, keeping this right shoulder down, taking the right hand out to the side if you'd like, turning the face to the right, and then just relaxing into this twist. Then we're coming back up, rolling back up. We're going to take the feet to the edges of the mat. So let your feet, the outside edge of your feet touch the outside edge of the mat. Make sure you're centered in your mat, and then let the knees fall inward so that the knees come toward one another. We have this gentle stretch on the outside of the hips. And take another breath in. And as you exhale, we'll bring the feet back to about hip width apart. Let's go ahead and straighten out the legs. Take the arms up over the head, linking the thumbs. And then we are straightening out the elbows, letting the shoulders relax so that the backs of the hands come down to the floor up over your head. We're reaching the toes, walking those toes toward the wall beneath you and reaching the fingers up toward the wall above you. We're pulling inward in the elbows. We're trying to get the upper arms to come in and touch the ears. So we're just going to move from side to side a little bit, stretching the left side and then the right side a little bit, just to warm up a little bit. And then we're going to arch over to the right side. So we're taking the head and the shoulders and the arms over to the right side, creating this big arch in the spine. We're stretching the left side of the body. We're pulling the left fingers and toes further apart. Keeping the upper arms close to the ears. Then we'll come back to the center. Just relax for a moment. Let the arms relax. Let the shoulders relax, the hips, the toes. And then straightening out the elbows again, reaching the fingers for the wall above us, the toes for the wall beneath us. Walking those feet away a little bit further, pulling the elbows in so that the upper arms touch the ears if possible. And then we're arching to the left. So now we're taking the head and shoulders and the arms over to the left side. We're keeping the upper arms close to the ears. We're pulling the right fingers and toes further apart, stretching the right side of the body. And we're coming back to the center. We're relaxing again. We're letting the thumbs come down so that they touch the top of the head. The backs of the hands are on the mat. And we're just relaxing, letting the toes roll outward. And start to press the elbows down and lift the chest. So we're pressing those elbows down toward the mat. You know, maybe muscles around the elbows that actually touch the floor, but we're pressing down, slightly lifting the chest, arching the spine upward, pressing down with the back of the head a little bit. And then a breath in, and as you exhale, we're relaxing. We'll bring those hands down beside the hips. And then we'll reach the fingers down toward the toes. Firm the belly muscles, pressing that back down. With an exhalation, we lift the head and shoulders, so we're looking down toward the toes. With your next exhalation, lift the head and shoulders a little bit higher, really working these abdominal muscles. Another breath in, and as you exhale, we'll slowly roll up, coming up to a seated position. We're bringing the soles of the feet to the mat with the hands behind the thighs. Just a little bit here. So we're sitting up really tall. We're going to walk those feet back until we come back so we can balance on the buttocks. And then we'll take the shins up so they're horizontal for the boat posture. Okay, so this is gentle yoga. This is kind of the beginning posture. Maybe you're if you're not strong enough yet, maybe the shins won't stay horizontal. If you've been doing it a while, you know you can have the shins horizontal. You can turn loose of the thighs and turn the palms upward, and if possible, take the toes up toward the ceiling. But those of us who are just beginning, we're staying in this position. So we're not going to lower the feet. What we're going to do is somehow work magic so we roll forward. I'm not sure exactly what muscle makes that happen, so the whole body rolls forward. And then we're going to come onto the knees. So let's come onto the knees. You can face to the side of your mat if you wish, or if it's more comfortable to face along the mat, that's okay. I'm going to take the left foot out to the side, straight out to the side, and we're going to straighten out the knee. I've got the sole of the foot pressed into the mat, but you can have the side of the foot down there if you prefer. I prefer the sole of the foot. We're arching over toward that left side. We're taking the right hand across the top and reaching, trying to, thinking hyperbolically of this arch going around the arm and down toward the toes. This is called the gate posture, by the way. So inhaling now, the arm goes up. Exhaling, let that hand come down. We're straightening out the torso, bringing that left leg in. And then go to the other side. So the right leg goes out to the side. Again, side of the foot down or the sole of the foot, whichever you prefer. We are arching the spine so that the torso goes over to the right side. The left hand reaches across the top. Again, hyperbolically reaching, taking this curve all the way down to the toes. So inhaling, arm goes up, and exhaling, that hand comes back down. We're coming back upright, bringing that right foot back in, and we're going to come onto all fours. We're in the yoga tabletop position, or the all fours position. We're going to bring the left knee in under the torso, and then as you exhale, we'll shoot that left leg out back. We're lifting the foot up toward the ceiling. So this is the basic posture. If you can, you take the right hand up over the head as well. So you're balanced on your left hand and your right knee. Inhale and lift a little bit higher. As you exhale, see if you can bring the knee and the elbow together underneath the torso before you put the knee and the hand back down. And we're moving around. Just relaxing a little bit. And then with an inhalation, we bring the right knee in. Exhaling, we shoot that right leg out back, lifting the foot up. Again, if possible, you take the left hand up over the head. And we're looking out beyond the fingers, lifting the fingers and the heel up toward the ceiling. And the breath in, and as you exhale, see if you can bring the knee and the elbow together under the torso before you put them down. We're taking the knees wide apart and sliding back into pose of the child. So the knees are wide apart, torso nestles down between the thighs, hips release toward the heels, head and shoulders are relaxing toward the floor. You can make a little pillow here with the hands or the fists, so you have a place to rest your forehead if you need to, or if you prefer to. So we're bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing down as we inhale to come up. We're going to come back up to all fours. And then we're going to bring the shoulders directly over the wrists. Then we're going to take the left leg and straighten that left leg out, curl the toes under, and put the toes down on the mat. And then we're doing the same thing with the right leg. So we're coming into a plank position. And notice the hips are not real high and they're not real low in the plank. So I've seen it variously described as being in a straight line or having the back be horizontal. You have your choice. So we're pressing down not just with the heels of the hands, but with the knuckles and the fingers as well. And then a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're taking those knees down wide apart. We're sliding back. We're leaving those hands right where they are, but sliding back, coming into a semi-pose of the child, relaxing the shoulders. And then with your next inhalation, coming back up. Coming all the way back up to the plank. This time, we're going to bend the elbows and bring the chest down a little bit closer to the floor. Down. Notice the chest is not back here, so when I bend the elbows, that doesn't go down. When I bend the elbows, the chest comes down. It might not come down this far, but that's, you get the idea, and then we'll press back up. And we'll bring those knees down, slide back, and relax the shoulders again. Leaving those hands way out over the head. And then inhaling, we're coming back up. Going to come all the way to the plank. Going to bend those elbows and bring the chest down a little bit. And then we'll press back up. Knees come down, we're sliding back and relaxing the shoulders again. We're going to slide forward again. This time we're going to come all the way down onto the mat. Make sure I'm centered more or less. And we're coming into crocodile. So we've got the big toes touching and the heels rolling outward, or the alternative is to take the feet wide apart, turn the toes outward and let the heels roll inward. And we've got the little pillow made with the hands. We're bringing the one cheek down to the little pillow and resting. So we'll bring those feet back together, bring the heels up. If you just roll the heels outward, we're pointing the toes and having the tops of the feet on the mat. Bring the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Checking to make sure that those elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Forearms stay parallel, and we have the palms turned down, pressing into the mat. Heels come together. So we're in the Sphinx posture. We're pressing down with the tops of the feet. We're pressing down in the fronts of the thighs and the pubis and the belly. We're pressing down with the elbows and the forearms, the hands and the fingers and the knuckles, and we're lifting the chest and looking ahead across the floor, and then bring those heels back together if you need to. And a breath in. As you exhale, we're relaxing. Coming all the way down again. We're coming back to the crocodile, turning the face in the second direction. So we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Hands come underneath the shoulders. The fingertips are directly under the upper edge of the shoulders. Pardon me. We are turning the hands so the index fingers point straight up toward the short edge of the mat, and we're preparing for the cobra. So on cobra, we lift on the second inhalation, and on the inhalation, we only use back muscles to lift up. We don't press down with the hands. As you start to exhale, Then you press down with the hands. So we're taking the first breath in. We are bringing in strength, the prana, the life force, and exhaling. With the inhalation, arch the spine upward, no weight on the hands yet. Exhaling, we press down, lift a little bit higher. We're looking toward the wall or across the room. Just looking across the room. Shoulders pull away from the ears, elbows stay in beside the ribs. Feet stay together. So inhale and lift a little higher, and as you exhale, we'll come back down. We'll come into crocodile again, going back to the first position. Turning your face in the first direction. So now we're bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders again. So we're going to do a version of dolphin plank. We're going to have the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Palms come together this time. We're interlacing the fingers. And we're just going to leave the knees on the mat and lift the belly up. So take a breath in and exhale. With the next inhalation, lift the belly up off the mat. And you can do whatever you want with your feet. Probably leaving the tops of the feet down is the best thing to do. Or curl the toes under if it's more comfortable. We're looking down at the thumbs and just sort of hanging out here for as long as we can. So take a breath in now, and as you exhale, we'll come all the way back down. We're coming into crocodile one more time. And then we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to lift the hips, press down with the hand. We're coming up to all fours. So we're pressing down with the hands to lift the hips and the shoulders at the same time. And we're going to come back up. Going to come up onto the knees. Step forward with the left foot, making a 90-degree angle here. Curl the right toes under. With an exhalation, we press down and come up to a standing position. Okay, so I apologize for not being visible above the waist, but the camera crew is being quarantined, I guess. So let's have the feet hip-width apart, outsides of the feet hip-width apart, the insides of the feet are parallel. If you look down, you see the inside is parallel. Take the shoulders up, back, and down. Hands hang down here beside the thighs. We're pressing the thigh bones back. It's hard to see this on the video, I'm sure. Pressing those thigh bones back. Turn this way so you can see a little better. Pressing the thighs back, but we're not actually trying to lock the knees. The knees do go back. But when we do that, the pelvis tends to roll forward, so we're going to lengthen the tailbone down toward the floor to level the pelvis. Okay, so the lower abdomen is now firm. We're firming the upper part of the belly, lifting the chest, taking the shoulders up, back, and down, lifting the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. No, you can't see it, but you can feel it. We're in the mountain posture. So feel the weight of the body accumulating through the bones and pressing down into the mat. You can feel the feet pressing into the mat, and you can feel the mat responding. It's cushiony. The places where there's most pressure, they crush a little bit more. The other parts roll up around the feet a little bit, giving us gentle support. The mountain posture. So bring your hands to the fronts of the thighs. Take a breath in as you exhale. We're going to bend forward at the hips, keeping the back nice and flat. See if we can get the back in there. So we're keeping the chest lifted, stretching the collarbones toward the wall that's ahead of us here. Got the knees nice and straight. We're lifting the sit bones up toward the ceiling, and we're going to roll forward slightly so that more of the weight is on the balls of the feet. You can keep your hands on the thighs to support your back if you need to. We're lifting the chest, lifting the sit bones, stretching the torso. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're rounding the spine. Now we're sliding the hands down, letting them reach down toward the floor, easing down toward the mat. So the longer you stay here, the longer the muscles will get. The fingers will come down, the knuckles will come down. Eventually, the palms will come down as well, although not this morning. With your next inhalation, we're rolling back up. So we're rounding the spine, rolling up, and we're going to walk forward toward the front edge of the mat. I'm going to turn around so I can stay closer to the microphone. Walking up toward the front edge of the mat. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we'll move the weight over to the left side. We're stepping back with the right foot as far as you can, and then we'll take a second little step back. And before we do anything else, you need to make sure that your feet are separated. So there's a little bit of distance between the feet, so the feet are not aligned like on a balance beam, but they're like having narrow railroad tracks down. Then we're bending the left knee, bringing the knee directly over the ankle, and turning the shoulders so that the shoulders are parallel to the short edge of the mat. The arms come up in front. And with an inhalation, we sweep the arms up over the head. And if you can, you turn and look up between the hands for warrior one. And a breath in, and as you exhale, the hands come down. We're pressing into that left foot, and we're turning back to the front or turning to the side of the mat, just relaxing here a little bit. And then we'll turn back and step forward. Okay, so we'll do the other side. Moving the weight to the right side, we're stepping back with the left foot as far as you can, taking that second little step back, making sure you're on railroad tracks, not the balance beam, bending the right knee, the knees over the ankle, shoulders parallel to the short edge of the mat, arms come up in front. Inhaling, the arms go up over the head, and we turn and look up between the hands. And a breath in, and as you exhale, we'll let the hands come down. We're pressing into that right foot. I'm going to turn off to the side and just move around a little bit. Sorry, pardon my tush. And then we'll turn back to the front and we'll step forward. And we're coming to the center of the mat again. Okay, what time is it? Okay. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, step the feet wide apart. We're doing warrior two next. Walk those feet a little bit further apart, and then turn the left foot out 90 degrees so it's perpendicular to the short edge of the mat. The right foot turns in a whole bunch. Both legs, this right leg's nice and straight. We're bending the left knee, bringing the knee directly over the ankle. Hips and shoulders stay parallel to the long edge of the mat. The arms go out to the side. We turn and look over the fingers of the left hand. And a breath in, and as you exhale, the hands come down. We're pressing into that left foot. We're turning the feet back to the front, bending the knees, moving the hips around, moving circles, whatever feels good to relax. Then we're turning the right foot out 90 degrees, perpendicular to the short edge of the mat. The left foot turns in a whole bunch, bending the right knee, bringing the knee over the ankle. Hips and shoulders stay parallel to the long edge of the mat. The arms go out to the side. And now we turn and look over the fingers of the right hand. Another breath in, and as you exhale, the hands come down. We're pressing into that right foot, turning the feet back to the front, walking the feet in, moving around. And then we'll end with tree posture today. So you can either come off the mat onto a hard surface if you have one, or stay on your mat if you prefer. I'm going to stay on the mat today. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, we'll move the weight over to the left side. So let's come back and let me just say, if you are balance challenged, we have an option for that. If you're balance challenged, I prefer that you not use a chair or go find a wall or something to hang on to. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, move the weight over here to the left side. We're going to pick the right toes up and just, if you're balance challenged, you're going to leave those toes there. Let them bounce up and down slightly if you can. If your balance is good enough, you bring that foot to the inside of the left leg someplace, arms wherever you need for them to be to find your balance. If you can, you bring the hands in front of the heart, and with an inhalation, the hands go up over the head. Another breath in, as you exhale, the hands come back down in front of the heart. Take another breath in. As you exhale, the hands come down, that right foot comes down. Or you fall out like I did. Okay, so moving around a little bit. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, moving the weight over to the right side, picking the left toes up, the left heel up, letting the toes bounce up and down. And by the way, you can do this throughout the whole exercise. I'm not saying just at the beginning. So bring your hands in front of the heart. And with an inhalation, the hands go up over the head, and still keep these toes down here. The main characteristic I'm looking for is that all of the weight be here on your standing leg, and that's doing all the control. So we're not keeping weight on the left toes. These toes, I want them bouncing up and down so that you're actually making the right leg work. Of course, if you can, you bring the foot to the inside of the right leg. Oops. Come down and back up if you need to. Breath in, and as you exhale, the hands come back down in front of the heart. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, the hands come down. That left foot comes down, moving around. We are going to lie down now. It's time for a closing relaxation. So, the first thing we do is find a comfortable position. And it takes several moments, maybe even a couple of minutes, to really get settled in. And it's worth taking the time to do it. So we're coming down, lying down, got the feet separated several inches with the toes rolled outward. The hands are separated from the torso with the palms turned upward. Weight of the head is right there on the center line of the back of the skull. We're checking that the center line of the body is nice and straight. And we're looking for places where the skin is pulling or the clothing is not comfortable for any reason, and we're correcting those problems. Then begin to scan your body looking for places that are tense. And we're trying to find all the places that are tense so we can relax them. So we check all the places where we normally keep tension, such as the forehead, around the eyes, the cheeks, the jaws, the neck, the shoulders. Check all of those places and relax them, but don't ignore the rest of the body. Scan through the rest of the body and find any places where you have some tension and relax it. Begin to focus your attention on the breath, observing the breath, not trying to control it, not trying to make it faster or slower or deeper or anything. It's just whatever it is. And this is a very difficult practice. Your mind will go off at the slightest provocation to think about other things, whatever they happen to be. And whenever that happens, well, first of all, it's not something you're doing wrong. It's just the way the body is, the way the human mind works. It will go off. But acknowledge that thought or sound, set it aside, come back to the breath, and concentrate on the breath. Through concentrating on the breath, we quiet the mind. So we want to slow down the constant chatter that runs on between the ears. We want to slow that down by concentrating on the breath. And the more successful we are with quieting the mind, the easier it is to come into this the state we're looking for right now, the calmness, the peacefulness, the relaxation. So enjoy this for the next 2 minutes. So now make your next inhalation a deeper inhalation. Exhale comfortably. Then take another deep breath in. And with the exhalation, allow a little motion to return to the body, moving the fingers to toes, maybe the hips and the shoulders a little bit, the head. And then come back to stillness for another couple of moments. Take another deep breath in. With this exhalation, allow the range of motion to increase, moving the arms, the legs, moving up to the shoulders and the hips and the spine, stretching, yawning, hugging the knees, whatever feels good to you, whatever feels good. And then if you wish, you can roll to one side, but wherever you are, we're finding a comfortable position, coming back to stillness now in this comfortable position for a couple of moments. And then whenever you're ready, we'll slowly come back up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed as much as you can, using your hands to find the center of the mat. In this comfortable cross-leg position, just breathing calmly. So we end with 2 deep breaths. The first one is just a deep breath. The second one will actually hold the breath. So take that first breath in, really filling up the lungs. And then exhale completely. We're squeezing all the air out. We're going to give that last little puff. And then return to normal breathing. So now a really deep breath in. We're holding the inhalation. So really fill up and hold. Slowly exhale. Come down to the bottom of the exhalation. Squeeze the ribs in. Pull the belly in. That last little puff, hold the exhalation. And return to normal breathing.
Turn down.
And then take a deep breath in for the yoga Om.
Yeah.
peace, peace, peace. So namaste, everyone. Have a wonderful day.